Last week, we dove into the importance of positivity in our relationships, but let's take a moment to reflect on something equally vital: consistency. You see, while laughter and joy can light up a friendship, it's the quiet, steady presence that truly builds a lasting bond. Consistency is like the foundation of a house. It's not flashy, but without it, everything else crumbles. Think about it. Consistency transforms fleeting encounters into meaningful relationships. It's those little rituals we create, like a weekly coffee date or a Friday basketball game, that deepen our connections. Through these repeated interactions, we learn how our friends show up for us, and that's where trust begins to blossom. We all crave safety in our relationships, and safety comes from knowing what to expect. When we can predict how someone will respond, we can relax and be ourselves. Allah reminds us in Surah Al-Hujurat that our connections are intentional. We're meant to know one another, and that requires showing up time and again. It's about building familiarity until we recognize each other's hearts without fear. Let's look at the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He exemplified consistency in every relationship. His presence was unwavering, his character reliable. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, noted how he would turn fully to those he spoke with, giving them his complete attention. He taught us that the most beloved deeds to Allah are those done consistently, even if they're small. This principle applies not just to our worship, but to our friendships as well. It's the small, repeated acts of showing up that truly soften our hearts. Now think back to your childhood friendships. They felt effortless, didn't they? That's because school provided built-in consistency. We saw the same faces every day, and over time, that familiarity bred comfort, which led to trust and depth. As adults, we can recreate that pattern in our lives, at work, at the masjid, or in our classes. We don't always choose our friends based on extraordinary qualities. We grow close because time does its quiet work on our hearts. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many of us have friendships we enjoy, but don't invest in. We often blame our busy lives, but consistency doesn't happen by accident. Unlike childhood, there's no institution forcing us to interact regularly. If we want depth in our friendships, we must create those conditions intentionally. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It just requires commitment. Simple gestures like weekly check-ins or spontaneous messages can build trust in those small moments, especially when it's inconvenient. So, how can we apply this wisdom to our lives? First, establish a simple relationship ritual. Choose one recurring touchpoint with a friend, like a weekly message or a coffee date. This predictability builds emotional safety. Second, show up without needing an occasion. Islam emphasizes maintaining relationships even when there's no immediate benefit. Neuroscience backs this up. Unprompted connections strengthen our bonds. Third, be reliable in your emotional tone. The Prophet was consistent in his gentleness, which calmed those around him. Lastly, prioritize presence over length. Quality time, even if brief, is far more impactful than distracted moments. In conclusion, friendship doesn't deepen through intensity alone. It deepens through consistency. Positivity may open the door, but consistency keeps us inside. In a world filled with distractions, showing up regularly becomes an act of love. When we choose consistency, we choose trust. And when we choose trust, we build communities where our hearts can finally rest. May Allah bless us with relationships marked by steadiness, sincerity, and mercy, and may we be among those who show up for others as an act of worship.